friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today we're going to take a look at the goals that I made for 2023, both in my life and in my reading. I know I never did a mid-year check-in on my goals. I meant to, but the summer just got away from me and I never did it. But now we are headed into the fourth quarter, October, November, December, and I still have a chance to complete some of these goals. So we're going to take a look at them. Honestly, I just sat down and took some time in my journal because I don't really use this journal. So I had made a page for 23 goals for 2023. Thanks for the idea, Becca from Becca Books and Bujo. And then I have my reading goals page, which I do every year. So we're going to take a look at these and see how I'm doing. And then I have a couple challenges like the A to Z challenge, the buzzword reading challenge, and Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf challenge. So we're going to take a look at those as well and see if there's a possibility for me to catch up on any of these things before the end of the year. So for 23 goals in 2023, I had 6 goals that were kind of like lifestyle or hobbies goals. Complete a whole 30 month, 30 days of yoga with Adriene, classical piano song. Like I wanted to practice piano again and learn a classical song, maybe even one that I had used to know. Annie's Kit Club blanket. I bought all the pieces to this Kit Club blanket that came periodically in the mail and I haven't touched it. And then declutter 12 areas and 12 Instant Pot recipes. I have only completed a whole 30 month out of those 6. I haven't done any of the others. I did start a yoga with Adriene, so you can see I printed it out and everything. I did the first week strong and then I fell off the bandwagon with yoga, so that did not get done. I have not touched my piano other than for worship practice at church. I did not work on the blanket Kit Club. I have been decluttering, so I have a list down here of a space for 12 and I've done 6 spaces so far. I did the shelves in my den. I've done my puzzles. I did the top shelf under my TV, like the shelf in that cabinet. I did the yellow cabinet in my kitchen. I did my linen shelves and bookshelves I've been working on. So it's possible I could still declutter enough areas to get up to 12. We'll see. And then Instant Pot recipes. I've only made one thing in the Instant Pot this year, chicken, rice, broccoli bake thing that I made. Not doing very great with that. I've used my air fryer quite a bit. It's one of those like dual machines. It just has a different lid, whether you're using it for air frying or Instant Pot, but not doing so great. But we're coming up on soup season. And so I'm hopeful that I will use it a little bit more. I just still love my crock pots. So I use those quite a bit, but not the Instant Pot. I need to make better progress on that. I did have 4 spiritual related goals. I wanted to complete 4 Bible studies, join a small group, memorize Ephesians 1-4, and read 2 of my pastor recommended books, which I have a few on my shelves. I joined a small group in the winter time last year. That has since ended. We do semester small groups at my church, and I only did it for that first semester. I did not join one in the spring, summer, and I'm not in one for this fall. So I marked it as done because I did join one for a little while. I have not completed 4 Bible studies. I have not worked on memorizing Ephesians, and I have not read any of my pastor recommended books. So far, that's the first 10 goals, and I've only completed 2 of them. Not so great. Financial are the next ones. I wanted to be debt-free, save a certain amount of money, and increase my giving. I was on the road to being debt-free by the end of this year. I will get close, but because of my brother being out of work, I'm paying all of the rent instead of sharing that with him. So all of that extra that was going towards paying off debt is not extra anymore. It's necessary. So I will continue. I'm still working on that. It's just going to happen early next year rather than this year. So that's not done, which means I've also not been saving as much. I do have my emergency fund, but I'm not quite up to the amount that I wanted in my savings. And increased giving, I cannot say that I have done that either. So that's no more goals completed. Then I had a section called One and Done, which just means there was one thing. Once it's done, it's done. And I have 6 items on here. Go camping. There's still time for that. And actually, Jordan said he wanted to go camping this year. So we might pick a weekend and just do that. go to the doctor. Still haven't done that. Travel to a new state or country. I went to Nicaragua this summer, and as of when this video's up, I will be in Phoenix, Arizona. I've never been there. So that's done. Run a 5K. I don't need to actually do the race, but I want to be able to run 5K. And I have run once or twice. The weather's cooling down. I will hopefully be able to do that a lot more. So that's still possible. Bring a box to a consignment store. I've done that actually multiple times. And then do a cleaning day at church. I have since stepped down from the kids ministry, leading the kids ministry. So that's not really my area anymore. And that goal doesn't really apply. I didn't do it before I stepped down, but I'm not really going to like bust in and say, hey, let's do a cleaning day when I don't really even work in the kids area right now at all. So only 2 more finished on this list. And then for online goals, which I kind of had a goal of where I wanted my Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon to be by the end of the year. And in order to do that, so on Instagram, I was hoping to hit 5,000. I want to post 2 times a week. Have not been doing that at all. I'm above 4,000 on Instagram, but I don't think I'll get to 5,000. YouTube, I wanted to post twice a week, and I wanted to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. And that's possible. Coming up here at the very beginning of October, I'm almost at 9,500. So I'm close. I'm close, but I'm not sure I'll quite get there by the end of the year. It's kind of like a reach goal that I thought at the beginning of the year, but I did not expect to be so close. And then for Patreon, I was hoping for over 100 patrons and posting once a week. And there were times that I was doing that, but I'm not very consistent with posting every week on Patreon. So I haven't been doing those goals either. And then finally, I wanted to write at least a 2-sentence review on Goodreads for all of my books. And I started the year out doing really well with that, but I have since slacked off quite a bit. So those 23 goals for 2023 are not going very well at all. I've only completed 4 out of the 23. 4. And the chances of completing the rest of them, I can make progress, but let's see if I'm doing better on my reading goals. So I have 7 goals that I gave myself for reading this year. Number 1 is NetGalley above 70%. I wanted my ratio, my percentage on NetGalley to be above 70. I ended the year last year at 46. If I did not request anything this year, that would have been possible to get up to 70. But whenever I do those anticipated reads videos, all of those books that I put on those lists, I request on NetGalley. So I've been approved for a ton of books, and I've not been great at reading those anticipated reads, which means my NetGalley is currently sitting at 41%. So it's gone down from last year, which is not surprising. I've read some this year. And in November, I'm going to be doing NetGalley November. I did this last year, and it helped a ton to boost my rating score. And I would be happy, honestly, if I could get it up to 50. I think 70 is a reach. I was thinking big. Number 2 was to finish 6 series, and I finished 3. I did finish the Gaither Sisters too, and I don't think that's on here. So that's 4. I don't have that on my series spreadsheet because it's already done. So I have completed 4 series. I have 2 left. It's possible. I have quite a few duologies that if I just read one more, I'll be done. And I can count being caught up as finishing a series. So once I finish Stellar Loon, which I'm in the middle of right now, that will catch me up in Keeper of the Lost Cities, and I'll be able to count that as finished. It's not a complete finish, but it's all that I can read right now. My 3rd goal was to read 75 short stories. I've read 5. Here's my short stories page. 5 short stories. Nowhere near 75. I think if I only read short stories for the rest of the year, I might be able to complete that goal. Again, that was really big. I thought I would be able to do it. I was thinking I could read like 4 or 5 every month, but clearly I did not do that. Read from 10 countries. I did just sit down and go through my book spreadsheet and mark off ones that stood out to me. What I don't have on here is Canada, and I'm pretty sure I've read one that has happened in Canada. I may have missed something, but I have 9 out of 10, and I know I can probably get a 10th one very easily in the next 3 months. So that goal will be done. Yay. Number 5 is to read 10 book of the month. I have completed that. Yay. I read 6 book of the month during Catch-Up-a-thon a couple months ago. And then I've read a few others. I've unhauled some. Like, I have done good with book of the month this year. I'm pretty pleased with that. Number 6 was to read 12 Christmas book exchange books. I've only read 3, but in my current 5-star prediction stack, 3 of those are Christmas books. That would get me halfway through. Yeah, I've not been doing good with reading my Christmas book exchange books this year. Yikes. And my final goal was to read 12 Newbery books, and I've read 7. And I will say one of my Read Like Mitzi books for September is a Newbery book. So that will get me 8. I don't think I could read 4 more by the end of the year. I just need to, I'm glad I'm doing this video because it helps me to remember what these goals were that I wanted to complete. And so now, like, I have a whole cart of my Christmas book exchange books that does sit right here in front of me. I just need to, when I'm done with my TBR or I need a little break for my TBR, I could easily grab one of these middle grade that are on here, or a quicker, there's a couple rom-coms on here. There's a couple shorter books. Like, I could easily just pick one of these as a palette cleanser or a mood read in between some of the ones I need to read. I just haven't been doing that. But it's possible. It's possible. Everything is possible. Okay, so then we have my short story page, my series page, which I've already talked about those. The A to Z challenge is just something I do every year. And honestly, I am killing it. I only have Z left on this one. I did count. So last year, I don't think I had Q, X, and Z. So this year, I counted Sophie Quire in the last story guard because there's a Q in the title, Sophie Quire. And then for X, I counted Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp. I counted that as my X. So I didn't have to find a book that had just a straight X in the title. It does have an X in one of the words, counting it. So the only one I have left is Z. I'm pretty pleased about that. Who knows if I'll get it? And I actually haven't gone through my list to see if there are any books that I've read that have a Z in the title. I should have checked that first. But then we have my buzzword reading challenge for Lala. Kayla from Books and Lala does this every year. I was starting out doing it month by month. And then today I just sat down and filled in everything that I've read so far that fits. So as of right now, the only month that I don't have completed was March, which is Secret. I haven't read a book apparently that has Secret in the title. I have everything else except for that. So it's very possible in the last 3 months to pick a book that has the word Secret, and then that will be complete. And then I also just took a few minutes to catch myself up on Chantel's from Chantel Reads All Day, her Read Your Bookshelf challenge for this year. And hers is fun this year because each prompt builds on the book that you read before it. So I had stopped in June. So I looked through July, and I actually didn't have anything that was set in a different country in July. So I used both July and August. I used August for both of those prompts. So I did the Poisonwood Bible as a different country. And then the same genre, I did A Girl Called Samson. So for September, I was supposed to read a book with a word in the title from page 50 of A Girl Called Samson. And I should have checked Chelsea Girls because that's also historical fiction. There are so many good words on this page. I was looking at dreams, drowning. Oh man, if I could have counted drowning, but I think I counted that as June's book. But earth, look, fields, forest, rivers, land, waters, shore, wings, rise, air, falling. I mean, there's so many good words. Ships, hide, worry. I don't think worry is mostly in titles. See, call, witch, shoot, down, fire, faster. I mean, there's so many good words in here. So I didn't have anything that I read in September because it's nearing the end of the month and I'm not going to pick something now that will fit. But I'm going to hold on to this page. I'm going to like just have this page ready. And in October, I'm going to make something fit. I'm not going to do it exactly the month that it's in. But and the other thing with Chantel's is that hers is part of a giveaway. Like she's having a giveaway at the end of the year. So on her website, I believe, I forget where, but there's a place where I can go and enter all of my reads. Anyways, I'm doing okay with that challenge. So ultimately, I mean, as far as my reading challenges go, I've completed one and I'm on track for a couple, and I'm just really not going to hit the others. And that this is like a joke almost at this point, but I would still like to focus on those things. They were important to me at the beginning of the year, and there are things that I can do to continue working on some of those things. There's just a couple of them that I would really like to at least make progress on, even if I don't complete them. But I have 3 months to go. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. I hope that you enjoyed this little look at what my goals were for the year. I will link my original goals video down below in case you wanted to go and watch that. I did just kind of cover everything here, but just in case you wanted to see it, it's there for you. And let me know, how are you doing with your goals that you made for this year? I set a Goodreads goal, but I don't really care about the number of books, so that's not really something I pay attention to. I know for some people that's the only goal they make, but let's just chat in the comments below about goals. How you're doing last quarter? Are you going to make it? Do you care? Don't stress about it. This is the thing I always say to myself and others. Yes, these are goals and it's good to have something to focus on, but I will not allow reading to bring me stress in my life. Nope. Reading is my hobby. It's something that I do for fun. Yes, it's fun to have something to work towards, but I will not allow it to bring me stress or anxiety or pressure. So if I get the goals, great. If I don't, great. I've still read a ton of really good books this year, and that is what's important. So let's chat goals in the comments. I love chatting with you down there. Thank you so much for watching and spending some time with me today. And I look forward to talking with you in another video very soon. Bye.